back. Yeah, I'm like, dude, I get it. It's 5 a.m.
I knew he was going to say something.
It's good to see you guys. And one of the things I keep saying is you have amazing hair, but this is ridiculous. Like all three of you, what shampoo do you guys use? And I'm like, are you guys in a commercial together? Like what's going on here?
I use once a week I use a comb.
I knew he was going to say something.
Like
wax.
once a week.
Wait, you just did a
once
nice little
a week
like.
when I'm feeling it, I'll comb it.
Congratulations on season 5. I mean, I got to see the first 2 episodes, and I really had to sit with it. It really hits your emotions, and it really takes you to a place that you feel for everyone who was involved in that Last Supper. So set it up for me when you're there, the table's there. All the disciples are there, the candles are lit. Jonathan's sitting at the table in the front, and he delivers his line, and the moment happens for you guys. What was it like?
Well, what's interesting about the way that I don't know how far in details we can go about the filming of it, but we are sitting down for Passover meal, and it's something that me personally, having heard this, throughout my life, I kind of forgot it was Passover meal. So we are sitting there with our brothers, and it is a very kind of surreal moment for us, and it is an important moment in Jewish culture. And we also don't know it's the Last Supper, so that's also interesting to note.
Very true.
We're there enjoying that moment, but as the actors, not enjoying that moment, having that moment with each other. We already know that we're all there for each other, but it was none more apparent than when you're sitting at a triclinium table and you can see everyone's face and everyone is there in that moment for each other.
There's a sense when you're doing a scene like that the air is like still and time doesn't make sense anymore, and you kind of are just like, everyone takes a deep breath. It felt a little bit like in season 2 when we were around the campfire. You're sitting there for a few days in a row and you're like, here we are. We're going through this all together. We're hearing these words all together. And so that's part of it. Jesus is right there, but then you're kind of looking to, your brother over here. You're looking at your friends over there. And you go, how are we all sort of on this journey together? And it really was to me, I feel like one of the most impactful moments of the season was when we were filming The Last Supper. Yeah.
Because it's rare for everyone to come together and actually shoot together, right?
Yeah, there was really a dreamy kind of feel around it, everything, the way it was written, it feels like, and the way it's portrayed throughout the season in these moments, it really feels like you're not quite sure whether what's happening right now is actually real. Are we actually having a conversation right now? What is, it does feel like you kind of lose, like everything becomes dark around you and you kind of get zoned in and everything feels like a little bit of a dream,
So you guys actually lived the moment then.
Yes, for sure.
Really did.
It definitely felt like that. Oh yeah, I mean not to get into too spoilers, but we all know as the cup is being passed, we definitely were all sort of partaking in this moment together. And the ritual of it, the sense that we're all doing it together was really impactful.
The last time I was on set with you guys and did some interviews, and I did one with Jonathan, and that video had a massive impact around the world. It kind of went viral. Asking him about, if you had a cup of coffee with Jesus, what would you ask? And he said, how did I do? And it hit me. But also the idea that this show is bringing so much more to people than just a series and watching what happened to Jesus. You're bringing back belief. You're making people feel that spirituality. That must be so special to you to be part of something like that.
Yeah, it's also accessible for people. I just heard outside that a third of the audience are not necessarily Christian. And so there's obviously people with an appetite to learn about this historical period, and that's what the show is. Essentially, that's the success of the show has been, that we are a moment in time and we are catching up with these people and we're telling the story from their perspective out, rather than it being, let's tell the Jesus story. It's not that. And so, I think that's been like one of the successes of the show is that we are bringing it down to kind of eye level, and it just makes it accessible for people who may not have necessarily heard of what Jesus went through or Holy Week.
Our job is to create human beings, and then create interesting human beings that you can relate to and find yourself into, The writers gave us the perfect platter to play that, and we just need to trust it and follow it and make it as deep and as interesting and as humane as possible. And I think that is the key to make people relate to it, because anybody can relate to human beings and what they're going through. And so that has been our mission and our obsession, to make this as deep and as real as possible, and the rest is up for anyone to interpret. You know, that's the thing. Each person has their own relationship and interpretation with the story and with the characters, and all we can do is just make them as deep and real as we can, you know?
Yeah, you're making people believe. Like, I just can't get over that. You're just changing people's minds, and that's special to be part of something like that, and especially doing a series like this. In one of the lines during the Last Supper, it talks about that no one could take away your joy. I want to know, what's your personal definition of joy?
Whoa, well, I'll say I get so much joy from my family and friends, and in some way found family. My wife, I mean, the people that I just maintain such close relationships with, including this cast. I really just feel like at the end of the day, if you have a support system, if you have people in your life who you can really be vulnerable with, to me, that is joy.
Yeah, it's what we've built on the show, which is family. You know, we've had that since day one, and I think that having that still now going into season 6, it makes it so joyful, honestly.
Yeah, joy for me is feeling what you actually feel and being connected with what's actually happening, looking the reality and right in the face, and allowing what actually is happening to actually impact you, and checking in and making sure you are who you are and you feel what you feel. And being connected to yourself is joy. You know?
Thank you guys.
Much.